today on Divorce Court.
I'm here because I'm looking for a commitment from Al. I'm 22 years old and I'm ready to get married.
I've been writing for as long as I can remember, and I love it.
Al is always obsessed with his novel. He's writing constantly on his novel, and I feel like I'm always coming in the second.
I'm doing something that I love doing, and that's the only thing that matters to me. I think she could support that and eventually be a good spouse about that.
If Al doesn't change, I'm ready to put an end to this chapter. I'm ready for marriage, and I'm ready for a further commitment from him.
Divorce Court is now in session.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here with Haely and Alfred LaFleur. The two of you have been together for 4 years. You're living together. This case is designated as a dissolution of cohabitation, which means you're living together, but you would want to separate. But I really don't think that's what's going on here. Ms. Enad is here to get me to talk you into marrying her. That's what it is. That's exactly what's going on here. Isn't that right?
Yeah, it is.
Listen, I read the paperwork. I know what's going on. You guys took a compatibility test, which was very interesting. I appreciated the fact that you're a writer, Mr. LaFleur, because usually when guys take my compatibility test, they give me one-word answers, and I had to censor myself. Yes. I appreciated it. I appreciate it. Ms. Enad, I'm going to start with you. Why don't you tell me a little bit about your relationship and why you think he needs a nudge in the direction of the altar?
So we've been dating now 4.5 years, and...
You're 22, right?
Yes, about to be 23.
Yes, 22. 22. Yeah.
22.
Okay. So I'm about to be 23, and we've been attending a couple weddings in the past 2 years, and 2 years ago we attended a wedding, and I was a bridesmaid in it, and Al made the hint that we were kind of after the wedding, he was saying that, I can't wait for this day for us someday. So I was kind of thinking, since we moved out here 2 months after that, I was like, oh, maybe that's going to be in our near future. And it hasn't happened after 2 years, and I just don't feel like he really wants that at all anymore.
Okay. Mr. LaFleur, why don't you respond to that? Is that something you see in your future? That she would be the woman for you?
Of course. We've been together 4 years. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't still be with her if I didn't have intentions of marrying her. Like, marriage is a very important thing to me. Right. But I think there's bigger issues at bay than just, hey, we should get married, and why haven't you popped the question?
Okay. Explain what you believe the issues are.
Well, to me, what's more important, the most important thing in a relationship is both people being happy doing what they do. And a lot of happiness comes from a relationship and a happy marriage.
Right.
But that shouldn't be the only thing, is being codependent on your spouse. You should have something that drives you, that you're passionate about. And I think both people should be able to do what they're passionate about and support each other. It shouldn't just be about getting married.
Getting married, no doubt about it. I have to give you a job, because I try to say that to people all the time. Nobody wants to listen to me. Why don't you tell me what concerns you have about the common goals and directions that you believe you haven't established, which gives you pause about marriage?
All right, so look, I absolutely love Haely to death. And we've been dating 4 years, like I said. I've never met a woman like her. I never will. And I recognize that. But the biggest thing to me is she's always been very supportive of my writing career. She's been amazing. It's just sometimes I wonder if there's this voice in the back of her head that's like, if things don't work out, we'll just get a job and we'll have a big house and, a picket fence. And it's not like that, but that's in my mind who I am. And I don't want that. Like, I want to chase a dream. Right. I want to write.
He's concerned that if he ends up an impoverished writer,
right,
you aren't going to be cool with it.
Right.
He's okay with being an impoverished writer.
I'm being straight up. I'm telling her right now.
Oh, absolutely.
I'll do it to the day I die if I succeed or not.
And he believes that you're not on board with that and is concerned that your marriage will die as a function of that.
I don't agree with that at all. I've supported his writing even when we didn't live in Los Angeles, and now, I support it even here still. And I've shown that repeatedly that I support him for it. But at this point, it's just I feel like you always choose writing over me. I always come second. We're always late everywhere because you have to write. And it's something as simple as these plans.
Okay.
We have plans, and then you just bail on them completely because you have to finish this note. And it's I get that. You have these ideas, but it's always writing. Always writing. I feel like we're not even a couple anymore because of it.
Mr. LaFleur, do you care to respond to that?
Yeah, I mean, this is a common thing that comes up, and I think in any relationship, but it's like there's this communication breakdown. It's not that my writing is more important than her. It's that like I know what I'm passionate about. The only thing I spend my time doing in life, I bartend, I serve, I spend time and money on us doing things, which is awesome. We have great times, and then every other spare time that I have goes into writing. That's it. I don't have a huge social life. I'm fine with that because I love to write. So I feel guilty anytime I'm like really getting in the groove of writing, or if I'm trying to be, like it takes a lot if you don't come from.
Do you understand the nature of the process of writing? It's not like the 9 to 5 or, the hours for a lawyer or a doctor where you can set them and be done at a certain time. Writers have to be able to, sometimes they're in the groove when they're rolling, and you can't, Hemingway, they can, for whom the bell, and never get to tolls. You know what I'm saying?
No,
he read all of Meditation 17 before he got to that. So what I'm trying to say to you is you understand that the nature of his profession cannot be constricted by time. Did you understand that?
Yeah, I get that, but it's been like 4.5 years now that he's been writing on this book, and I feel like I give him enough time. But if he needs more time, he needs to express that instead of just sitting there and being like, when we're having a conversation, run over to his computer and start writing things. Like, that's like disrespectful in my sense, that he's not paying, like when I'm speaking to you, then you're like, oh, like, how is your mind like on the book right now when you should be speaking to me? Like,
oh, let me tell you how it happens.
I'm afraid, like, if I propose tomorrow and I'm like, hey, let's get married, that then you're gonna change, because now you kind of have this power of me, and you're gonna change and be like, and then it's gonna slowly over time be like, hey, how about doing something realistic?
I'm questioning the commitment from it. Like, yeah, you love me, but like, I really don't think that there's gonna be ever a commitment from you.
Let me tell you something. I'm no Hemingway, I'm no Maya Angelou, anything like that, but I've written a couple of books, and I've been in conversations with my husband. He said something, I think, yes! And I get up, I had a thought, and then I go. When you have a thought, because they don't stay long, especially when you're my age. You gotta grab it right when it's there, and you gotta roll with it.
Yeah.
He gets that. I had an idea. Sometimes in the middle of the night, I'm up, hey, and I'm not even really good at it. So, I'm okay, but...
If you don't write it, it's gone.
You don't write it, it's gone. Let me ask you a question, Ms. Enoch. Is there something in your environment that is encouraging the urgency you feel for the need to commit? Because you're only 22, and 22 is very, very young.
I'm not asking him to like marry me like tomorrow. It can be in a couple years. I'm just asking for a commitment, like whether it just be a ring or just something for you to like tell me that like you're still gonna be there tomorrow or like in a couple weeks. Like, I mean, we come from the Midwest, so I just feel like where I grew up, all my friends are getting married at this point. Like, my mom was married young, like her siblings were married young.
Where are you from?
I'm from Ohio.
I'm from Ohio.
I'm from Ohio too. Represent. There we go.
Where in Ohio?
Canton.
Oh, okay. I'm Columbus than Cleveland. We must have been running with a different group of people. I got married at 29, and they always call me a love curmudgeon because I don't believe in young love. I mean, I believe in young love, but young marriage is usually a scary thing. The person that I was at 22, woo! You know what I mean? And do you have a game plan other than being with him? What does your future look like? Heaven forbid, this handsome dude gets run over by a bus, he's gone. Well, what's your game plan?
I'm in grad school right now, like just started for counseling, and that's like my career is what I love. Like I moved out here because I was a criminal justice major and wanted to go straight into that, and then I kind of changed it to that I wanted to go to grad school and change it to counseling. So like that's like my whole life is dedicated to that.
So you're focused on something, you have something.
Completely.
Are you prepared to be the primary breadwinner in this relationship?
I feel like that's how it's going to be, yeah.
And you cool with that?
I mean, like, I thought, like, he would contribute at least something.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that the way I see it is like it's 50-50. If I can give more, I will. Like I'm not just gonna be
a bum.
I'm not gonna be a bum sitting at home, right? You know what I mean? I'm still working right now and writing and networking and taking classes, doing everything I can to write. My biggest issue with this is it's like, and I'm not saying like the sanctity of marriage is a beautiful thing, but like why I don't understand why that's the only thing driving her. And then I'm honestly afraid. I'm afraid like if I propose tomorrow and I'm like, hey, let's get married, that then you're gonna change because now you kind of have this power of me and you're gonna change and be like, and then it's gonna slowly over time be like, hey, you know, how about doing something realistic?
What did you say about?
I think he's changed in that aspect because I think if you would have asked him 2 years ago, that's what he was all about, was getting married and all that stuff then. And then now it's kind of different.
I've never been about that.
But like 2 years ago, you would have been like
now
saying,
just as much as I always have. But I've always said like you know,
I'm not
I don't understand.
questioning that. I'm just saying like, I'm questioning the commitment from it. Like, yeah, you love me, but like, I really don't think that there's gonna be ever a commitment from you. Like,
I want you 4 years. We live together. We have a dog and cat together.
How long have you been living together? How long
2
have you
years.
been living together?
2 years.
2 years. And you believe that there's a change in that commitment push at that 2-year mark?
I don't think that. I just think like there's like things that he does that just show me like he has problems with commitment. And it's just like at this point.
Name
like,
a few of them.
Okay, so he's never on time. Like we're never on time anywhere. He's never on time like for anything. Like he can't even get himself up in the morning. Like I have to be the one who wakes him up. Like I'm his wake up call every day. Like if he didn't have me, like he would be late everywhere. Like I'm surprised you're here this morning. Like that's like what I'm saying. Like
I don't know if the low blow is necessary.
What does that got to do with his inability to commit?
Like he can't even commit to a certain time, for instance. And like, you know, it's just like if you can't commit to time, like I get it, like not everyone's on time everywhere, but like if it's every single time, it just like gets frustrating over time, like always being late. And then it's like, oh, where's Al today? Like, oh, I don't know, he's supposed to be here and he's not.
That's a personality quirk. That's not commitment phobic. What else has changed? Give me something else that makes me think that his idea about your commitment has changed. And I'm gonna give you a moment to think about it because I want it to be a good one. The thing that scared me for you, Ms. Enot, is I asked you if you could change one thing about your intended, what would it be? You said, I would change his opinion on not wanting to live a simple married life. Here's the concern that I often have for women. What changed that made you think now he is commitment phobic?
It's just like, I feel like at this wedding, he was just so gung-ho about it. And just, I felt like at that point, like he was like, oh, let's, you know, like, he's like, I want to get married to you, you know, like not like in the next year, but like, I just always had this idea that it would be like, just something as soon as just popping the question. And like, we'd taken like trips where like, I felt like he was going to, and then just like nothing happened. And I mean, we took a trip like 6 months ago, and I feel like it's been awkward ever since.
Oh, you guys went on a trip and you thought he was going to pop the question during the trip? Was he dropping hints or something?
Kind of, yeah. Like before then, yeah, we went to a wedding in December and like.
Now you're not dangling, are you? You're not teasing her.
I'm not dangling. I'm not. Like
I feel like you are.
Not necessarily on purpose, but are there things that you're doing that could be misinterpreted to a wedding-hungry woman that you're about to make that move? Think about it.
I'm a passionate person. Like I'm a hopeless romantic. She knows that about me. But like I feel like I've always made clear that I mean, she's 22. That's my big. I've said this to her before, and last year I've been like, you love me, I love you, but above and beyond me, who knows who she's gonna be in 2 years or 3 years. Like I changed a lot from 22 to 27, and I know women generally mature more than guys do, but I consider myself a fairly mature person for a 27-year-old. I think she's gonna continue to change, like mature into the woman that she's gonna become, and we all do, you know. So I don't know. It's early.
Let me tell you the scary.
And I wouldn't
Let
say
me
that if I
tell
didn't
you
love
the
her.
scariest thing I saw on the compatibility tests. Well, no. First, I'm gonna start with the most beautiful thing.
Okay.
You said on your compatibility test, I know why you love it. This is what I will give my intended spouse, and he said, an adventurous, unpredictable, fun, loving partnership that will last a lifetime. The guys usually write my love and all my support. and that's all you get. Then I asked the question, do you think a man should be the head of the household And my man over here said a partnership should be a partnership. This is not 1950. Got deep with it.
That's it.
The thing that scared me for you, Ms. Enot, is I asked you if you could change one thing about your intended, what would it be? Do you remember what you said?
There was like a couple things, yeah.
You said, I would change his opinion on not wanting to live a simple married life.
Ugh.
Here's the concern that I often have for women. They think they have a plan for their life. They find a dude that they love and want to be a part of that plan. And if his direction, his want, his purposefulness is not the same as yours, you think you can fix him and redirect him later. And I think that's what gives me concern and gives me pause. And it might be what's giving Mr. LaFleur pause. I think he sees what it is you really want, and I'm not sure he's altogether sure he can give it to you. Do you understand what I'm saying? I always recommend to young women, don't move in with a dude. I don't believe in it. He's all excited to get you, to get you, to get you. You move in together, now you don't see so much of a commitment. You live your life, you take care of your business, you grow, you become self-assured and centered, and he's the, well, maybe. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Ms. Enid, did anything I say make sense to you?
Yeah, I get where you're coming from. I guess it's just like, I feel like that too, but at this point, like, we do live together, so I just feel like the next step is getting married, and like, I feel like I'm ready for that in my life, and...
If you were my daughter, this is what I would do. Drive up to your house with a U-Haul. Get your stuff, put it in the U-Haul. I paid your first 6 months' rent someplace else and allow you to live fully, deeply on your own and not have him so much as a focus. I think he's gonna come along with it. I think he's gonna come over and marry you when you're ready. But I don't think you're ready.
Okay.
And I think you're becoming too invested in getting that done right now.
Good.
Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm not saying anything negative about you. I don't think you're using her. I don't think you're abusing her. I don't think you're leading her on or any of that. But if you want her to be that mature, grown woman that truly can commit to the kind of lifestyle that you want and do it happily.
And because she wants
And
to.
because she wants it.
Not because she wants
She's
to
got to
make me
grow
happy.
on her own. And she's got to be on her own. And she's got to make marrying you less central to her life. A man is not a plan.
Yeah.
He's a perk, but he's a perk, but he's not a plan. I'm sorry I made you cry. I feel
no,
bad
you're fine.
about that. But I think I'm giving you good advice, and I think you're going to get what you want when it's time for you to get it. But it just isn't the time right now. All right? Good luck to both of you. This matter is adjourned.
I like that he's not really ready for this at all, and like that really his main focus is his book, and I get that, like, go full for your dreams, but like I'm also doing the same thing. I was just kind of expecting us to kind of go for our dreams together and not kind of like separately.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of speechless, and I know just seeing her break down and cry like that is not a good feeling for me. I just want her to be happy, and I guess if that's what will ultimately make her happy, that's what I want.